From the Allen Media Worldwide Headquarters Studios, high atop 2 Turtle Creek, this is Deconstructing Dallas. Greetings, everyone. It's your host, Ryan Trimble, looking out, preparing for a big Thanksgiving holiday week. Joined today by a man who plans to gobble till he wobbles. He, of course, Shawn Williams. Shawn, good day, sir.
Testing 1, 2, testing. Can you read me, Ryan Trimble? Good day.
You're coming in loud and clear. Over.
I am using the new microphone that you bought me, and so it only has taken me about a year, but I have it hooked up, and I'm hoping that you can hear me now. Can you hear me now?
I can, Shawn, and I'm glad that we are celebrating the spirit of sharing and giving, even a little bit delayed on the microphone front.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what I get this year. It was microphone last year, so maybe as we're moving through the holiday, I'm hoping this is a precursor.
Summer 2020 gift is now full in full employment.
Well, yes, absolutely. I can also thank you for the bottle of wine you gave me for my birthday last week. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I hope Mrs. Williams enjoyed it. I thought that was her favorite brand, but I could be wrong. Maybe she has multiple favorites. I don't know.
Saving it for a special occasion, Ryan. Saving it for a special occasion.
Good.
So still sitting there in the kitchen.
Excellent. Well, of course, happy birthday and happy Thanksgiving week.
Happy Thanksgiving. Looking forward to all of that. How are things? How's Thanksgiving shaping up for you? I think your mom's coming to town.
She is. Yes.
We may have both of our listeners in town at the same time.
It's really going to be amazing. I mean, we should have a Deconstructing Dallas, Friendsgiving, I guess. But no, it's great. Gigi is coming in town. She's ready to rock. She's packed her bags already. She can't wait. Kids are fired up. There's movie nights. There's multiple snacks. She is going to employ the sugar up the kids and give them back to us method, I think. We are moving product out. We've got a new bed, new shelves. I mean, my truck has been in a lot of use this past week. A lot of Goodwill runs. It's been good.
That's exciting, man. Tell your mom I said hello. I feel like the last time I saw her was when I don't remember if it was when we went to Tom Thumb for lunch or if it was when we were walking in the Lake Highlands, like 5K or something.
Yes, moment of silence.
Might have been the same week.
Moment of silence for the Tom Thumb salad bar.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. She's excited. And your mom also making the trek in from Paris, huh?
Yeah, we're still finalizing the plans. There's still some things up in the air. We will see her, and I believe it will be here. And we are still deciding between making the traditional Thanksgiving dinner at home or going and visiting one of our local establishments and supporting them.
Yes.
Supporting them for Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you for your help to get the economy back on track either way, Shawn.
Always here to do my part.
That's right. Well, happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners. We hope you get to spend some good quality time with family and friends. We
are thankful for you, each and every one of you, for tuning in and downloading this episode in your car or on your treadmill, or, we hear about commuters. Wherever you listen to Deconstructing Dallas, we appreciate it and are thankful for you.
And as I was telling my illustrious colleague here that I'm grateful for him for always allowing me the bandwidth to share my SMU nostalgia with him, our listeners, our guests, and always find a way to work it in. You are gracious, and I'm thankful, sir.
Well, it gives, I always get a good belly laugh myself. So, I just keep them coming. It brings a smile to my face, as you can see right now, because we are currently looking on the Zoom recording, which has been new, but I like it.
It is. It's been good. We've been rocking. We still are grateful, of course, for the hard work of our friend Michael Zavala. Hopefully, this is, giving him a chance to free up some more bandwidth on his end, not have to listen to us in person.
Not have to babysit us for 30 minutes each week.
Yeah. So we're just full of gratitude and thankfulness, and I need to write some gratitude letters, but excited to bring our show to our listeners today, Shawn.
Yeah, today we are going to be talking transit with the new president and CEO of Dallas Area Rapid Transit, Nadine Lee. My wife Dominique is a DART board member, so I've had a chance to meet Nadine a couple times. We used to work Alameda for DART back in the day, and so I've always been a fan and observer of DART, and I think that DART is entering a critical era both. And I really looking forward to discussing that with Nadine.
Yeah, it's an exciting hire. Nadine, of course, has been in Denver and then in Los Angeles, and so I don't know. Are those our benchmark cities? I'm not sure what to call them, but I feel like her experience is going to really, really help, especially as we take on, a bus system, I don't know, is it an overhaul, a review at the very least, and see how we can better serve customers on that front. We're digging a tunnel in downtown. We've got a connector, a big line going across, the north part of the Metroplex all the way to DFW. So there is a lot going on, and I'm excited to share, her excitement for all these projects and her vision for the future of the organization.
Well, when I moved to Dallas in the late 90s, and it was Dallas area, because it was Irving at the time, a DART member city. And when I moved to Irving, when I first got here, I just remember it was kind of like all light rail all the time. Like every light rail station that opened was a big deal. And it got Dallas closer to having the largest and longest, most extensive light rail system in the United States. And it was a huge deal. And I think it's something that we should be proud of with the green line and orange line, the blue line, the red line. However, I have since come to realize just, where DART has missed the mark as it relates to bus. And I think we've had some DART members who've asked a lot of questions. And I think it's something that the city of Dallas has been interested in as well. So I'm very much interested in getting Nadine's thoughts on what you call, which I do think is right, a bus overhaul, at least the start of one.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and just I think that, like I said, her energy and her vision is going to be a real plus for this city. And so let's jump right in to our interview with Nadine Lee right after this quick break. Deconstructing Dallas, Ryan Trimble, Shawn Williams. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back, Deconstructing Dallas. Ryan Trimble, Shawn Williams. Shawn, super fired up today to be welcoming our guest. She, of course, Nadine Lee, the president and CEO of Dallas Area Rapid Transit, better known as DART. Nadine, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Shawn. It's great to be on.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks for squeezing us in. I know you've hit the ground running since you've been here, and you got a full schedule. You got to keep the trains running on time, pun intended. But I was hoping, Nadine, just kick it off, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Okay, so I am a new resident of Dallas in North Texas. I came here from Los Angeles, where I spent 5.5 years working at the Los Angeles County Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority, where I served as the chief of staff. And also, prior to being the chief of staff, I was the deputy chief innovation officer. And just so that everybody knows, I'm an engineer by education and spent many years of my career working in engineering design and construction, working on roadway projects as well as transit projects, with, of course, my big love being in transit. So I've come here, as the president and CEO, ready to hit the ground running and just, really make some great changes to the system here.
Nadine, you've been a leader in Denver and Los Angeles prior to coming to Dallas. I'm really interested in your thoughts on Dallas and North Texas as you get to know the area and how it compares to your last couple of stops.
Well, I'm really struck by the similarities between Dallas and Los Angeles. And I haven't been in Dallas long enough to know if people cringe at that thought. But what I'll tell you is that I find some really interesting parallels between the two locations, particularly in the diversity of the economy here. Also in the development patterns, because, we have here in North Texas, definitely a lot less density than in Los Angeles, but it's similar in that it's a lot of low-rise development. You do find some high-rise developments around the clusters of downtown and along some of the real business corridors like 75. So I think it's just a really fascinating thing to compare the two, because there's a lot of sort of decentralization of business in the Dallas region, as there is in Los Angeles as well. And I think that introduces some really interesting transportation problems, mobility problems throughout our region. And I think that, I think most people would not like to end up where Los Angeles is. And I share that same feeling. So I'm hoping that the work that I do at DART in the coming years is actually going to help mitigate the traffic congestion that people are experiencing now, which, by the way, isn't as bad as Los Angeles. But I understand that when you're having to deal with that from day to day, it can be a real pain. And so that's really one of the reasons that DART exists, is to help manage that congestion that everybody experiences. So, that's those are kind of the similarities there. In terms of how Dallas might be more similar to Denver, we have a very extensive light rail system here in Dallas, as they do also in Denver. And I think that our service area is much smaller than Denver's. Ours is 700 square miles. Denver's is something like 2,400 square miles. And by comparison, Los Angeles County is 1,400 square miles. So I think it's interesting to kind of look at the size of the various regions. I think that, when I think about our light rail system, we have a very large light rail system for the size of our area. We have a very small bus fleet for the size of our area. So it's interesting. Our bus fleet's only about 700 buses right now. So it's kind of interesting. By comparison, Los Angeles, which is twice our size, they run 2,300 buses. Denver has, I think, a little over 1,000 buses that they're running in their giant service area. So there's some similarities, a lot of differences, but I think the problems are still the same. That people really want to travel quickly to wherever they're trying to go, and that's really what we're here to do, is just to help facilitate that really painless journey.
Now, Nadine, you've had the bonus of taking on this role during a global pandemic, of course. Can you tell us how the pandemic has changed how people commute and more specifically, how the pandemic has affected DART?
Yeah, so I think from a macro level, the pandemic, I think obviously, the world shut down, which was not only a huge hit to the economy, but I think to everyone's understanding of how people travel and when people travel and why people travel. So I think what we learned during the pandemic is that those who have the means to travel by a car or whatever, and also most likely have the opportunity to work from home, no longer needed to travel on our system. And we've built these transportation systems to accommodate the commute, right? The peak period commute when we have the most demand on our capacity. And so during the pandemic, what we found was the air quality got a lot better in pretty much every city that I can think of. And so we really saw the impact that transportation has on our air quality and our climate. And so there's a real opportunity here as we come out of the pandemic. I know we're not out of it yet, but as we start to come out of the pandemic, to